This on the side note, man, I'm thinking about this when you stay with your family. When you were a child, did you like to read a lot?
Man, I grew into reading as I got a little older.
Right.
My children, at 11, 9, and 6 years old, when they want to go out somewhere, they say, "Can we go to Borders?"
Right.
They want to go somewhere, and they want to go to the library.
Right.
They go to the park too
Right.
as well.
Right,
But
of
that's
course,
something
of
they would
course.
literally
Right.
ask
Right.
to go there to pick up a book to
Right.
read. It took me a little older in age, maybe 17, 18, 19
Right.
years old. But what I did, what my mother did rather, was we always had books around the house.
Right.
There was never a moment where I could say I was too bored because there was always a book somewhere
Right.
in the house to
You
pick up
bored?
and read.
Well, you better get over there and read that book.
Look, there go tons of books
Right.
over here. So that kind of helped me to appreciate books, and we're like that now. Our house is a library.
Right,
You
right,
know, we
right.
want to encourage our children to read. My wife and I, we're trying to learn Spanish right now.
Well,
we're picking up books, trying
well.
to understand how to put together websites.
Right.
And just, all kind of stuff like that
Right.
will help us grow. Our children see that.
Right.
We're pushing it and instill it.
Definitely, definitely. And I ask that because, a lot of our young people, especially a lot of our young black men, don't like to read. I was the same way, man. Like growing up, it was like when I was really young, I liked to read.
Mm-hmm.
Then I, in my middle years, not as much.
Right.
And then later on, like, in college and everything, I will get into it more.
Right.
And I think a lot of that is because I don't know what kind of school you went to, but the schools give you a lot of things that really aren't worth reading a lot of times.
Exactly.
You don't see stuff about you, anything that
Nothing
reflects your
about you.
perspective, so you get turned off to the whole process.
Well, I'm lucky in a certain way because I have a job where it's part of my job to keep up with the news to some degree. Well, I think you have to decide what works best for you in terms of print products and online products. I just tend to be wedded more to a print product because of my training, and I just, was sort of raised on newspapers. My mom worked for a newspaper and all of that, so I do like to flip through something. But I think you can really pick and choose what you read that day and what you don't. And I do not watch broadcast news that much. I get depressed. I get really depressed when I watch it. When there's a big story, I'll try to watch some. And in particular with things outside of Chicago, I mean, obviously we all were watching CNN during Katrina because CNN was there before anybody else was there. But I like a lot of different magazines. I love The New Yorker. There's a great magazine called The New African, which is kind of a roundup of news stories about all different parts of the continent. That's produced out of the UK, and so you have to subscribe to get it. I'm not sure that you can get it online, but it's a really great news source. I still find things in the Defender that I don't see anywhere else in any other news source, and so I think the Defender's a great source of news. And I think there are a lot of good things on radio too. I really like Chicago Public Radio and WVON. Really interesting conversations on WVON too.
Ms. Cassett, I want to thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Very good conversation. Check us out. Remember, the audience out there, these things are on you as well. We want to try and make our audience members more accountable because the corporate government, as we saw with Hurricane Katrina, they totally are better than the people. So thanks again for coming out. Any final words or anything you want people to be looking out for?
Yeah, final word. If anything that you hear touches you an inch, you have an obligation to spread the word. You have an obligation to move, to act, an obligation not to be complacent. Okay? That's my final word. Anything that moves you, get your butt up and act.
Where can people, I know it's all over the city, man, give us a few locations where people can get bean soup times.
You can go to Quench's on 75th, 405 East, 76th Street. You can go to Original Man Barber Shop on 73rd and Jeffrey, Cafe 917 on 79th and Ingleside. You can go to libraries, bookstores. You can go to a lot of black-owned restaurants. You go to the colleges and universities throughout Chicago. We are all over.
Word up.
Or you can just go to beansouptimes.com.
Right. It's a free publication, correct?
That's right.
Get it, black people. Check
You know
this
how
out.
we like free stuff.
Right, exactly. This man worked hard to put this together, man, so make sure y'all support and read this stuff. And who knows, while you laughing and being entertained, you might just learn something.
That's right.
Toure Muhammad, Thanks for coming on
Man,
today,
it's a
man.
pleasure to talk to you
Appreciate
as
it. For
always,
sure, for
brother.
sure,
Man,
for
I
sure.
love what you're doing with Noyzemakers,
Definitely,
man.
man,
It's
definitely.
inspirational.
Appreciate
and
it.
I wish you a lot of continued success.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. With brothers like you around, we will continue to succeed.
Yes, sir. True
Sure.
indeed with us.
So, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do the promo. Toure, what's going on? This is Toure Muhammad. You watching Noisemakers.
What's the news, family? This is Toure Muhammad from Bean Soup Times, and you are watching Noisemakers.
This is Leanne Caston, and you are watching Noisemakers.
Word. Hope you guys enjoyed this discussion and that you were able to take something away from this that you can apply to your day-to-day life. We thank you for your continued support. We hope to see you again. We'll continue to make the noise here on Noisemakers. Peace and God bless to you.
There is a underlying message with using satire.
Right.
A lot of people don't feel as though black folks can use satire effectively
Right.
because it takes a certain level of intelligence.
Right.
Not to down BET and Def Comedy Jam, but the humor is not, you
Right.
know, it's real basic humor.
Right, right.
It's bathroom type humor.
Right, exactly.
Which you can find a laugh in.
Right, definitely.
But at the same time, when you look outside of our community, you have a lot of satirical publications
Correct.
out there who come from a white perspective.
Right.
You have a lot of satirical and socio-political humorists.
Right.
Humor writers
Right.
that come from speaking about social issues and,
Right.
and applying humor to it.
Right.
You don't see a lot of that in our community. I
True.
thought that was a void that we need to fill.
True.
So it says, yes, you can be humorous, you can be intelligent, and you can do something that's productive to society.
Right,
You know,
right.
try to rearrange people's mental furniture.
And I'll talk about the food in a minute, what feedstocks they give. And then the top chickens literally will dump. You get my drift, please? That's right. On the chickens below them.
Bethany Winkdale's word. Sorry. World.
Right. Start over. Keep going.
Bethany emerged from counseling stronger than ever, beginning her meteoric rise to assistant manager. Bethany.
Yes, Tom. The police investigation and search is underway. The city of... Fuck man, greedy. Fuck Illinois. I'm sorry. All day long, we've heard stories how much of an impact Bethany had in this... as the entire state police department of Wyoming. Yes, Tom. Yes, Tom. The police investigation and search is underway. The city of Rosa Coelho, as well as the entire... Yes, Tom. Damn, man, why you, that look nasty? I'm like, ugh. All right. The city of Rosa Coelho, as well as the entire state police department of Wyoming, the state's remaining reservists that have not already been deployed to Iraq. Woo!
We're sorry to interrupt your previously scheduled program, but there are reports coming out of what? We're sorry to interrupt your previously scheduled program. Previously scheduled program. Well, not as important as this one. Benny Winkdale went jogging near Rosa Coelho around 6:15 p.m. local time yesterday. Okay.
Sorry, man. No, it's all good.
Sorry.
Let's keep going. You didn't do no lie.
23-year-old Bethany Winkdale
Sorry. Just a little bit louder. Just a little bit. I think you're fine, be fine, but you know, just want to give ourselves every opportunity.
Okay, outstanding.
Sorry, man.